What's up, guys? Coach Ryan here, and welcome to the virtual Drivetrack workshop. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over basically what the Drivetrack is, structure, what to expect, tips and everything on all sides of the room. And the reason why that I wanted to do this tonight is because the Drivetrack prep workout is tomorrow. So the Infinity workout is tomorrow all day. So if you're thinking about Drivetrack at all, okay, definitely go to tomorrow's workout, okay? So it will be an amazing experience, and it'll also be an incredible preview for the Drivetrack that's coming up the weekend of the 20th to 21st. So March 20th, 21st, Saturday and Sunday will be Drivetrack in March. So basically, I just want to start out is, what is the Drivetrack? So the Drivetrack is an event that Orange Theory has twice a year. It's usually every March and every September. What the Drivetrack is, it's basically a studio triathlon. So I know a lot of people around this area participate in races, triathlons, marathon, etc. So this is the studio version of a triathlon. And it begins with 2,000 meter row, and then it's followed by 300 reps on the weight floor. All the reps are body weight, and then there's a 5K on the treads. There's also biker and strider distances. There's also power walker distance, so everybody can participate. So it happens, like I said, every fall and spring in the Orange Theory calendar. What do I like about the Drivetrack best? As far as doing the Drivetrack, so this is going on year 5 for me with Orange Theory. A year at my old studio back at home in Ohio, and going on 4 years in Williamsburg. My favorite part about the Drivetrack, doing it, so I've done it quite a few times. Doing the Drivetrack, my favorite part is finishing, okay? And I'll talk why that is, as we go along. My favorite part is finishing, and the sense of accomplishment that you get after finishing the Drivetrack. My favorite part about coaching the Drivetrack is watching everyone support each other down to the last person that finishes. So I love it. Every time I coach the Drivetrack, everybody starts together, and a lot of people, they jump back on the tread and finish with the last person who's finishing. So I love that part, that aspect about the Drivetrack being a family and being a team. So the purpose of this workshop is to help you, first of all, to generate interest. If you don't know what the Drivetrack is and you want to get a gauge of what it is, generate interest, and to also help you to develop an effective plan and strategy to do your best. So there's a difference between just showing up and doing your best. So you can just show up to it and do it, and you will still get that sense of accomplishment, but I want everybody to do their best. So this workshop is to kind of help you to not just show up, but to give it your best effort and to get your best time that you can. So it's an overall time, so all the parts will be added up together in terms of your time. So 2,000 in a row, the 300 reps in the body, on the weight floor, body weight, and the 5K. So first, I want to talk about the 2,000 in a row because it is the first part of the event, and probably the most important part as to determining how you will feel for the rest of the time. So the biggest thing that I want you all to get out of this workshop, if you don't get anything else out of it, I want you to get this one thing out of the workshop. The 2,000 meter row, you are not trying to PR on the 2,000 meter row. I repeat, you are not trying to PR and get your best time on the 2,000 meter row. If you do try to PR and give it an all-out effort on the 2,000 meter row, it will be a long day for the rest of the Drivetrack. So I want you to try to resist the urge to go for a PR and to go all out. Think of the Drivetrack as 3 parts, just like a tread block. The first part, think of it as the push. The 2,000 meter row is the push. The weight floor is the base, the challenging but doable part. And the all out about is on the treads, and I'll talk about that more when we get there. Your goal time for the 2,000 meter row should be about a minute slower than your PR. So the last time we did the 2,000 meter row was in July, I believe. So it's been a long time since we've done a benchmark 2,000 meter row. So for the members who have been here for longer or been here since that time, if you have your 2,000 meter row PR time, your goal is to try to aim for a minute slower than that. So I have a couple of examples to give you in terms of what a PR is, and what your goal time you want to shoot for, and what the split time should read in the top right, because the rowers will be set to 500 meter split. So just throwing a couple numbers out there, let's just say your PR is 7 minutes, okay? So that means your goal time is 8 minutes. That means your goal split time should be 2 minutes in the top right. 7:30, okay? That means your goal time is 8:30. That means your split time should read 2:07 in the top right. Let's just say your PR is 8 minutes long, okay? That means your goal time should be around 9 minutes, and your split time should read 2:15 in the top right. And then 8:30 is the last one. Let's just say your PR is 8:30, and your goal time is 9:30. That means your split time should read 2:22 in the top right. So that's if you have a PR. So again, if you've been a member with us for longer, since last July, and you have a 2,000 meter row PR time, add a minute to that, okay? That's your goal that you want to shoot for. And then divide that time by 4. That will give you your split time goal in the top right. Now, in terms of stroke rate, what you want to aim for, you don't want to burn yourself out. Again, this is the push. You don't want to burn yourself out for the rest of the event. I would recommend a stroke rate in that 26 range. Because again, this is a push feeling that you're trying to maintain, and you don't want to burn yourself out at the beginning. I'm going to keep repeating that because I'm going to try to drive that point home. Now, let's just say you don't have a PR, okay? You don't know what your best 2,000 meter row time is. What you want to aim for is a feeling. You want to aim for a feeling of a push or a base to a push effort. Pay attention to the OTB screen. Now, this is for everyone paying attention, doing the 2,000 meter row in the Drivetrack. You want to try to limit as much red zone as you can. You see yourself getting the red zone, peel it back a little bit, get out of that red zone. Now, like I said, at the beginning of the Drivetrack, you're going to be hyped up, you're going to be amped up. The coach is going to amp you up, whoever's on the mic, whoever's watching, the staff is there, they're going to amp you up. You're going to have that sense of competition with everybody else. You're going to see the OTB screen. I want you to try to resist all of that. And again, keep it at a base to push level on the 2,000 meter row. Like I said, if you give it an all-out effort, it is going to be a long day for the entire Drivetrack, and you probably won't have your best time overall. Now, for some people will naturally PR on a 2,000 meter row. Why? Typically because they're a newer member, all right, and they get into better conditioning as they become the classes. Their rowing form gets better, so maybe they'll PR naturally, okay? If that happens, that's okay. But I don't want you to try to aim for all out, aim for a PR on the 2,000 meter row, because you got a lot of stuff coming at you in the long haul on this event. So again, if you don't take anything else out of this workshop, you are not aiming for a PR on the 2,000 meter row. You're not aiming for your best time on the 2,000 meter row. You're not aiming for an all-out feeling. You're aiming for a heavy base to push feel. All right, and again, use the OTB screen. You find the red zone in the 2,000 meter row, I would recommend to try to peel back a little bit, settle your breathing, and get out of that red zone, because you're going to need all of that energy for the stuff that's coming. Now, the next piece of the Drivetrack is the weight floor. And the weight floor is consisted of, let's see, 6 exercises. And for 2 rounds, if you completing 2 rounds of these 6 exercises, that's 300 reps total. The exercises are the bench hop over, bench tap squat, step up, push up, plank jack, and the burpee. The burpee doesn't include the push up, but the burpee does include the jump. 2 rounds is 300 reps. Now we do have a sprint option for the dry try, and the sprint option 150 reps is 1 round. But for the full dry try, 2 rounds, 300 reps. Now a couple tips on the weight floor. As I said, the 2,000 meter row is the push of the event. The weight floor is the base. So base pace is challenging, but doable. So this is the part where you're moving, it's challenging, but you're trying to get your breathing under you. You're trying to consistently move, but this isn't an all-out effort. This isn't a push effort. Again, think of this more as the base pace of the entire event. A tip that is recommended, a strategy that I like to give to people is picking a magic number. So what do I mean by that? So a magic number is a particular number of reps, whether that's 5, 7, 10. Okay, so your reps are going to be multiples of 10. So maybe, a multiple of 5 will probably work. So 5, 10, 15, whatever the number is. Picking a magic number of reps to where after you complete that number, you take a planned recovery. So let's just say the bench hop over is typically 40 total reps each round. So picking a magic number of 10, I do 10 reps, take a planned recovery. Another 10 reps, planned recovery. Another 10, planned recovery. And keeping that effort throughout all of the exercises. Like I said, all the exercises will be multiples of 10. That will help you to kind of keep your breath under you and prevent you from rushing the reps and taking an unplanned recovery. Typically the unplanned recoveries, when you try to go through everything straight through and you just go until you really get fatigued and you have to take an unplanned rest, typically what happens is that unplanned rest tends to take a while, and that hurts you in your overall time, and it makes the weight floor longer. It makes the experience a lot tougher on the weight floor. So that's why having a magic number of reps where you take a planned rest, a planned recovery, that will help you to be more successful overall in terms of how you feel in that event and your overall pacing and your overall timing. So again, like I said, whether that number is 5, 6, 7, 10, 15, whatever it is, picking a number, and then even if you feel good, okay, because you're not going to feel, trust me, you're not going to feel good for very long. No matter what your fitness level is, it will hit you at some point on the weight floor. So picking a magic number and picking that number and using that as planned rest. And that planned rest, maybe it's like 5 to 10 seconds. It helps, trust me, it helps you. Don't rush the reps. Control your breathing. So especially on exercises such as the burpee, the step-ups, the squats, where your posture should be tall. So shoulders back, tall posture, chest tall and proud. Rushing through the reps, number one, typically leads to bad form. And when we're coaching the dry try, we're sticklers on form because it is an event that's for time and you can't just rush through and BS the reps. So we're very particular on form in terms of dry try. So not rushing through the reps, again, that prevents us from stopping you for a form check. It also gives you some time to get your breathing under control, especially on the step up. When I'm coaching the dry try, I tell people when they get to the step up, use the step up to not rush. Use the step up to work on your form and to get your breath under you, because the step up is typically the exercise where you're there the longest and that's where you're tallest for the longest. So again, not rushing, controlling your breathing, controlling the effort. Like I said, just like how we coach base pace, okay, that will help you on the weight floor. And then overall, I'm gonna give you a tip. This is from doing the dry try myself and from coaching the dry try. reality will hit you at the start of round two, okay, at the second round of bench hopovers. I'm telling you this because I want you to be mentally prepared for that, okay? No matter what your fitness level is, you feel good or you're feeling it, okay, regardless of where you're at, when you hit that second round of bench hopovers, reality will set in to you, okay? This is, again, last time I did the drive try last fall before I coached it, and I felt great, through the 2,000 meter row. In the 2,000 meter row, I kept my heart rate in the green zone. I row a lot, so I'm very efficient on the rower. So I did my 2,000 meter, my goal was around 7 minutes, and that's what I stuck to. 7 minutes in the 2,000 meter row, kept my heart rate in the green zone when I was rowing. Got to the weight floor, first round, felt great. Second round of bench hopovers, it hits you, okay? And it will hit everybody. So I'm telling you that because I want you to be prepared for that. Probably everybody is typically, worried about the burpee. The bench hopover is a sneaky hard exercise, and I would argue that the bench hopovers are the hardest exercise on the weight floor. So when you get to that second round of hopovers, it will hit you. It will hit everybody. So I'm telling you that now, just so that you mentally prepare for that. And so you're ready for that. So that way, when it happens, okay, you anticipate it and you have a plan for it. So that's just a tip, secret tip on the weight floor. And Dave Anderson said, yep, he agrees. Yeah, second round of the bench hopovers, that's where reality sets in. So now, after the weight floor, after base pace, we get to the meat and potatoes of the event, the 5K. And this is the all-out portion of the event. So if the 2,000 meter row was the push, the floor was the base, the 5K is the all-out. This is where your overall time is made or broken. I've seen it both ways. I've seen people crush it on the 2,000 meter row and crush it on the weight floor, and then they get to the tread and it's over. I've seen it the other way as well. I've seen people kind of struggle on the 2,000 meter row. They get their butts handed to them on the weight floor, but when they get to that treadmill, they let it go and they crush it, and they end up finishing probably middle of the pack, if not with the leaders who got to the treadmills first. So the 2,000 meter row, the 5K, that's where the magic happens. That is the utmost, most important piece of the event. Now, some tips for the 5K when you get there. When you get to your treadmill, or biker strider, if you're doing the biker strider, start moving immediately. You get to your treadmill, hit start, hit 1%, start walking. Okay? Because the reason I say that, because in your recovery time, that distance counts. Okay? You don't want to be standing there for 2 minutes with your treadmill belt not moving. That's 2 minutes of distance that you could get, even if it's a walk. Okay? Even if it's 2 minutes of walking before you actually start going. That distance, that little bit of distance that you get will make a whole lot of difference when you get to the end, okay? That will make a whole lot of difference, okay? Now, once you get your breathing and your heart rate, once you gather everything, you get your water, you're ready to go, start at a light intensity. So think light base, and I know Dave is, you're on the same page as I am. You want to go light to start, okay? You don't want to come out too high. Whatever you think your planned pace is, okay, it may not be the case when you actually do the event. So coming out too aggressively will also, just like in the 2,000 meter row, as I said, coming out too aggressively will make for a long day. Coming out too aggressively in the 5K will also make for a long day. Mike Tyson has the quote, and I wanted to use it here. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face, okay? So you may have a plan for your 5K and how you're gonna run it, but the 2,000 in a row and the weight floor, those two things are gonna punch you in the face. It's gonna punch everybody in the face, whether you're a beginner to Orange Theory, whether you're a vet, okay? Regardless of what your fitness level is, those two things are gonna punch you in the face. And those two things will probably change whatever plan that you had coming in. So once you get your breathing and everything under you, go into a light base pace, light movement, okay? A pace that's a little bit lighter than where you plan to be. This is where you make an assessment. This is where you see how your legs feel after 2,000 meters, after squats, after step-ups, after burpees, okay? Your legs are gonna be different than what you anticipate they would feel. Trust me, okay? So use that time, couple minutes at a light base pace, lighter intensity to make assessments, okay? From there, I got a couple of options, okay? A few ways to attack it. Option number one, set it and forget it, okay? Setting a pace and just holding that pace for the entire 5K. What that pace is, again, will vary from person to person. To start, what I would recommend that you do, if you use the tablet on the treadmill, okay, and you connect your heart rate monitor to the tablet on the treadmill, take a look at some of your summaries, okay, and look at the average speed of your summaries that you do on the treadmill, okay. Every day will be different, so look at all the days, okay. So there's power days, you have more walking recoveries. Endurance days, you have less walking recoveries, so your average speed is probably higher. Strength days, we use inclines, so your average speed may be a little bit lower, but a little bit closer to endurance days versus a power day. Use all of the days, okay? Kind of take an average of what those average speeds are on your summaries. And that will probably be a good starting point as to what that pace would be. But again, depending on how you feel, okay, at that point, it may be a little bit different. But that's one option as to kind of figure out what your pacing should be. Another option, progressive build, where from that light base pace intensity that you start at, periodically you add some speed, add some intensity as you go along. You can do it at time markers, so like every 3 to 5 minutes, you add something. You can do it at distance markers, every 0.2 or every quarter of a mile or every half a mile, whatever it is, depending on how you feel, adding some speed at particular points in either distance or time. That's another way to attack it. Another way to attack it, which is my personal favorite, this is how I like to attack any long distance on the tread, is using your own intervals. So using your own push and base. With that, keep in mind, you want to give yourself enough base pace time, and you don't want to extend the push time too far. So think about how you feel in class, okay? Not too many people, I know I'm one of them, not too many people aren't too thrilled with a 3-minute push followed by 1 minute of base, okay? Now, I am okay with like a 2-minute push and 90 seconds of base, okay? My mind gets more amped up at that thought. So keep that in mind in terms of building your own intervals, okay? You know, giving yourself enough time to actively recover. A lot of times I like to do, when I'm in an effort like that, I like the 90s. You know, 90-second push, 90-second base, or 2-minute push, 90-second base. I also like 1 and 1 because that keeps it simple. 1 minute push, 1 minute base, 1 minute push, 1 minute base. Over time, as you start to get more fatigue, I'll start to add more 90-second bases in there and keeping the pushes 1 minute. But again, building your own intervals will help as well. It allows you to pace yourself a little bit better. And for me, mentally, I know a lot of other people like that, the task of running 3.1 miles straight is just boring to me. And having a task like every minute or every 90 seconds or every 2 minutes that helps to break down the distance mentally for me. So again, few options to pace your 5K, but again, this is where the magic happens. This is where your time is made or broken. And I know, Susan, I saw the question, what are the distances for the Strider? Bike is 12.4 and Strider is 9.3. So whatever the tread is, typically whenever we have run rows, I don't know if you all have noticed this or not, whenever we have run rows, the bike is 4 times the tread distance, the Strider is 3 times the tread distance. So for the 5K is 3.1, bike 12.4, Strider 9.3. And if you're a power walker, power walkers have half of the 5K, so they go 1.55, but they're also going at an incline. I think the incline is 3% incline or higher for that 1.55. So a lot of options for people to participate in this. But again, this is where your overall time is made or broken right here on the 5K. Okay, so those are the 3 pieces: the 2,000 meter row, the 300 body weight reps on the weight floor, and the 5K on the treads. Now, I want to close with some additional tips and some expectations. Number 1, in your transitions from station to station, from the rower to the floor, from the floor to the tread, walk it out, okay? It doesn't have to be a fast walk. It could be a slow walk. Sprinting to your next station, I kind of giggle in my head when I see people sprint to the next station for a couple reasons. Number 1, the studio isn't that big, okay? Studio isn't that big, so you're not going to save yourself any time really sprinting to your next station. Number 2, when you sprint to your next station, you're not going to save yourself any time, and if anything, you're just going to fatigue yourself a little bit more for the next station. So walk it out to your next station. Again, you're not going to save yourself that much time sprinting to your next station, and again, the only thing that you'll probably do is to make yourself a little bit more fatigued for your next round of work. So walk it out during your transitions, okay? Now, you're not trying to, go like a snail to your next station, but, walk to your next station, comfortable walk, maybe a brisk walk, and then start your next round of work. Here's a big thing, okay? Your classes leading up to the event. Taking classes, I would highly recommend starting on the rower and starting on the weight floor during your normal classes leading up to the event. They teach us as personal trainers, as OTF coaches, one of the big things in terms of exercise physiology and exercise science is the principle of specificity, meaning in layman's terms, in order to get better at doing something or a specific event, you have to do that thing. In order to get better at swimming, you have to swim. In order to get better at rowing, you have to row. In order to get better at being a better runner, after doing a 2,000 meter row, after doing weight floor reps, is to do that in your classes. So I know everybody likes to start on the treads, right? And this is another place where I giggle in my head when I see people in the Drivetrack, because I can easily recognize the people who never take classes starting on the rower or starting on the weight floor. Because when they get to that 5K, they realize it's a whole new world after doing a 2,000 meter row and after doing 300 body weight reps. What starting on the rower and starting on the weight floor will do for you is, again, that specificity training principle. It teaches your body, it trains your body how to run or power walk, bike, or stride when it's fatigued. And doing that is going to make you better when you're not fatigued, okay? So this is what I always tell people, regardless of whether they're participating in the Drivetrack or not, is to switch up where you start class. Not just starting on the tread, starting on the rower, starting on the weight floor, because that in particular will help you for this event especially. Like I said, it's a whole, if you don't take class starting on the rower, starting the weight floor. Trust me, it will be a whole new world on the treadmill after you get done with that 2,000 meter row and those 300 reps on the floor. So again, and switch up when you start. Again, I recommend if you're thinking about doing this event, we can put a red alert in your profile, call or text the CEO, try to get that preference in starting on the rower and starting on the weight floor. Because again, you will teach your body how to work on the tread when it's fatigued. And that will help you 1000% when you actually get to the Drivetrack. So again, that is my big recommendation. A lot of people say, well, I always do the tread because, I just can't do it after the weight floor. Well, you won't train your body how to do it, and you never will be able to do it if you don't train in that way. So again, you're not going to get better at it without doing it. So like I said, if you're thinking about doing this event, highly recommend that you work on starting your normal classes either on the rower or on the floor. And the last big tip that I have, which is why I wanted to do this workshop tonight, is to do the Infinity workout. So the Infinity workout tomorrow is the signature workout that is the Drivetrack prep workout. There will be a recordable roadblock where the distance is recorded in Challenge Tracker, but it will be an endurance tread block. And the exercises that you see on the weight floor will be the exact same exercises that you will see in the Drivetrack event. And the reps are the same. So if you complete 2 rounds, that's 300 reps. So the Infinity workout is huge, and the Infinity workout always comes every March and September because the Drivetrack is every March and September. So this will give you a preview of what the Drivetrack would be like, especially on the weight floor, because again, you'll see the exact same exercises in probably the exact same order as you would in the Drivetrack event. So again, if you're thinking about Drivetrack, get booked tomorrow. If you're not booked, get on the wait list. You'll probably get in. So that's another big piece of advice. Now, what to expect from the Drivetrack? Couple things. As far as the OTB screen, you're probably going to see your highest amount of splats and highest amount of red zone minutes for that given time. So expect to see it. So don't be surprised by that. The screen will be looking like an inferno for probably the entire time. Another thing to expect, and this is a big question that I get from everybody. Expect to finish. You will finish. Everybody finishes. You have plenty of time to finish. I've been doing this for 5 years now. We have 90 minutes allotted for this event. 90 minutes. I've coached definitely in the double digits in terms of how many of these dry tries I've coached in these 5 years. The longest I've ever went coaching was probably around 70 minutes. So everybody finishes. I never had a person not finish. So you will finish, I guarantee that. So definitely, if that is a point that's stopping you from signing up and trying it, get that out of your mind right now. Everybody finishes. You sign up, you will finish this event. Lastly, and probably the most important thing for me as a coach, just seeing it, expect to make new friends, okay? So you will probably do this event with a lot of people that you don't know. A lot of people that have been members for a while, or maybe even new members. Like in the fall when we ran this event, we actually had a lot of people doing the drive try for the first time. So there were a lot of people who were doing the drive try with people that they didn't know. So expect to make new friends. It's one big family in the drive try. And it's cool because everybody starts together and everybody cheers each other on and finishes together. With the exception of some people who have an appointment or whatever to get to later that morning or afternoon. Everybody stays for the last person. A lot of people jump back on the tread even when they're done to finish with the last person. So it is it's really a family environment. It's really one team, and you're gonna make several new friends, maybe even see some staff members or coaches that you don't really interact with a lot based on your schedule. So that for me as a coach, that's the best thing about the Drivetrack is that sense of community and that sense of family. So that's probably, in my opinion, the best expectation of what you'll see. So that's all I got. I tried to answer some of the questions that I saw pop up on the screen, but definitely, if you are interested in this event, do it. Do it. It's on your OTF bucket list. You have to do it at least once. And like I said, if you're curious, but you're kind of unsure, we do have the sprint option as well. So the sprint option is half of the distances and reps. So the sprint option is a 1,000-meter row, 150 reps on the weight floor, which is 1 round, and then half of a 5K, so 1.55 miles. And again, that's power walker, that's half, and those distances are adjusted for the bike instructor as well. So yeah, if you're interested, sign up. Also, if you're interested, take tomorrow's workout. Get into class tomorrow, because you will see that endurance tread block, and you will see the exact same exercises with the exact same rep counts and the order probably in the event. So do it. If you have any questions about the Drivetrack, let me know, let any of the other coaches know. We'll be happy to help you. This video will post on the Facebook page, so once I finish this, once I wrap the video up, in about a few minutes, anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes, this video will post to our Facebook page. So if you came on late, give it about 3 to 5 minutes or so after I close out the video, and then this video will appear in its entirety on our Facebook page. And also I will post it on the YouTube channel. A lot of you probably don't know that we have a YouTube channel. So after it posts and after I get it uploaded to YouTube, I will make the link to the YouTube channel as well. So again, hopefully this helped out a lot of you. So if you have any questions, again, let me know. But again, once I close this out, after a few minutes, this video will post, so you can always refer to it. And like I said, I will post it on the YouTube channel as well. So have a good night, everybody. And again, get into class. If you're watching this video, like if you stuck around and watched this, you need to be in class tomorrow, and I expect to see you in class tomorrow. So have a good night, and let's go Infinity Workout.